I don't know how else to explain it, except that it feels like I should be doing something else. There's just something in my blood.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and leave. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye. I'm defying gravity, and you won't bring me down. I'm through accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love. I guess I'm lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at a much too high a cost. I sooner mind defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye. I'm defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you won't bring me down. My future is unlimited, and I've just had a vision, almost like a prophecy. I know it sounds truly crazy, and true, the vision's hazy, but I swear someday I'll be flying so high. Kiss me goodbye. So if you care to find me, I'll look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. I'm defying gravity, and you won't bring me down. Bring me down. Bring me
That was amazing.
Right? Right?
Jensen and Jared.
They're here. Loud and swing, everybody!
Listen, we're gonna leave the stage so these boys can entertain you, but we have an ongoing problem with Jared destroying shakers. I mean, it's no longer funny, it's sad.
So this time I was given a bulletproof cowbell and an already broken drumstick.
Yeah. But that's not the real story here. The real story is we give Jensen a tambourine. What could go wrong? He jettisons it in the middle of the song. It crash lands and the whole damn thing came apart. Boys, add that to the kitty. We gotta.
There goes our percussion section.
Damn right. We can't give you boys anything. Ladies and gentlemen, Jared and Jensen.
I'll just say it. I'll say it and be on with
That
it.
actually did happen, didn't it?
Yes.
That really...
It wasn't a plant.
They don't make them like they used to. Otherwise... And this is, again, why we don't have nice days.
Exactly. I will say for the record, my cowbell survived intact. It even says J on it. Hi, Toronto.
What's up, T.O.? I feel like I'm blocking people. I feel like I'm... Do I need to move out of the way? You guys want to see Billy, don't you? Scoot it over there. I can't... This is... There he is.
We know our
I need that bright, shining face behind me at all times. It's just...
What'd y'all guys think of the premiere?
Hey, what's up in the back there? I see you. We see you. Yeah. What's up in the middle right there? And how about the front here? I don't know what just happened. I blacked out. Awesome.
This is one of my favorite things to do. Who's...
Uh-oh. I don't think you can say that out loud.
G-rate. Who's...
I'm glad you asked. We're here to endorse a new product, actually. It's called Network Television Scarring Cream. It erases everything. If the boys had scars, we would look like Misha. We'd look better. We'd look better. We would. And sometimes if that doesn't work, and say you happen to scar your face in real life, then what do you mean, Jensen? I'm just hypothetical. I can't speak. I'm nervous. Then we have an entire visual effects department that can just make you look like it never happened. Tell the story. I'm not going to tell the story. Tell the story. People have heard the story. I split my face open and they fixed it. What do you want? How did I split my face open? Yeah. I'm glad you asked. Yeah. Hey, look, Harrison Ford's got to start his chin too, all right? Yeah, he's Harrison Ford. So here's a true story. When the incident that shall not be named happened, let's name it Voldescar. He actually had to act with, you like that? You're not supposed to say Voldemort, so you're not supposed to say Voldescar. Harry Potter. I almost scarred my face. He came to set with dots painted so that the visual effects people could make his face look like the rest of his face, all smooth like a baby's butt. There's an ironic point to the story, or part of the story, I should say. So I went out with a friend of ours, mutual friend of ours, that we used to work. Don't bring me into this. I went out with a friend of mine, who used to work on the show, and he had since gone on and was working on other shows and doing other things. And he and I went out and had a couple drinks and went back to his place and
Had a couple more.
And then I was like, all right, I need to go home. So I went downstairs. He lived in a high-rise in downtown Vancouver. And as I was waiting for my taxi to show up, there was a little ledge where there was like a planter, and it had just freshly rained. And not thinking, I was like, I'm just wasting time. I'll just hop up on the planter. And you know what you do when you're just kind of wasting time and you're just like, you know, kind of strolling along and, oh, you know, whoop. So I decided it was a little higher than I anticipated. And I jumped and went, oh, it was a good one. And I just hit, and I went, you gotta be kidding me. And it was just leaking, just like a faucet of blood got turned on. So I'm like holding my chin back up, and I'm like, all right. Now what do I do? I'm not kidding. That's.
You were working like it was a Saturday night, or you were working in 2 days essentially.
I was working. I had the next day off,
Yeah.
and then I was working the day after that. So I'm just holding my chin together, and I'm like, all right. Well, I don't think it's broken. There's a lot of blood. I don't think I can walk to the hospital from here. I'm pretty sure the cab driver's not going to let me into his cab. I mean, it's just all over. So I called an ambulance and they came and picked me up, and I was like apologizing. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. This is so anyway, the ironic point to the story is I get to set, and the visual effects department now has to put tracking marks on my face so that they can remove the pooling of blood that is now and the swelling.
It's all swollen. Yeah.
I mean, I look like Jay Leno.
It was a nice change.
Yeah, it was really had a really nice defined chin. But the ironic part about it was the person that had taken me out was the previous head of the visual effects department.
He planned it all along. It's like, give me the
I was at home going, suck it, boys. And so yeah, they ended up having to fix what was done. And but anyway, if the network cream doesn't work to take off the scars, we always have the visual effects department.
Relationship advice.
Are you asking Jensen or Dean? Very different. What kind of advice are you looking for?
Relationship advice.
Specifically,
Relationship.
with your dog, with your cat,
All the same.
with your mother, with your what? Hey, look, the people have mom issues.
My question is, how do you get the attention of the person you like, and how do you get them to like you back?
Well, if you're Jared Padalecki, this is what you do. You be your wife. But pre your wife.
Can I have some romantic music, fellas? This is a book.
What you read?
A book. Leave me alone.
So, I read books.
Sure.
I do. I read.
Okay, I'll go on a date with you.
Oh,
Okay.
good, okay.
I was playing a much taller version of my wife. It's funny you should ask that. I would give, in all honesty, I would give the same career advice as I would relationship advice. And that is, be yourself. Because the person who you think you might want to like you, probably day two, you would pray that they stop liking you. Let it happen organically. Be who you are. That's the only thing you have that nobody else has. And somebody loves it. I love that. I was single for a while, and I was trying to figure out who I was, and I was trying to be, not trying to be fake or be something I wasn't, but I wasn't completely comfortable with who I was. And so the relationships I had when I was that form of Jared were fun and fine and great, but it wasn't lasting, right? And finally, I sort of came to terms with who I am, and then I found somebody who dug it, and I dug her back. So.
I say bring them to a supernatural convention. If they still like you after that, boom, you're ready.
It's because we scare them away like protective older brothers.
It's just like, did I ever tell you about the time?
Yeah, you can't remember his lines, but he can remember us.
Okay, I can't get into specifics, but I'm going to say this much. I don't think I'm going to be in trouble. But we had a one-page scene the other day. It was myself,
Which is not that long.
It's not that long. It's not that long. A one-page scene should last 30 to 60 seconds, depending if it's action or dialogue or whatever. So it was myself, it was Mark Shepard, and it was Ruthie. And I realized that if you ever want to make a 1-minute scene turn into a 4-minute scene, hire like British actors. Because everything becomes so important. And so, did I tell you? Like, say it. Say the line so I can say my line. I've got a line coming up. Get to it. So that's all I'm going to say. When it airs, I'll tell you what it was.
From like southern England to like northern, then over to Ireland, and then I think you ended up in Australia.
I am English.
Maybe South Africa. What?
Thank you.
Yours is worse. Where are you from? Sheboygan? Kidding.
Oh, get out of here.
So slow.
Well, I blame Jared for being late to everything, so he's used to that.
On a deeper level, it's also one of our main thematic points of Supernatural in general. You know, the saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. If you turn that on its head, you know, do good intentions lead to hell, right? And the struggle that humans in the real world also maybe deal with, where you're just trying to do the best you can. Sometimes there's collateral damage, so to speak, but hopefully your head is clear and your thoughts are straight. You're trying to be the best you can, do the best you can. So I think it's a very human struggle of trying to do what you can do, when you can do it, and where you can do it. But it not always working out perfectly, and how you deal with that.
And I think that you'll see this season that the brothers start to head back towards the hero side of the scale.
Yeah. You'll see that and a lot of shirtless Jensen scenes.
Stop it, you Canadians. And all the rest of you. Let me paint a very small picture of Richard's experience, or my experience watching Richard direct. It was I've always known Richard as Richard, buddy Richard, fellow actor Richard, funny guy, smart, you know, short comedy, short. And it went from me knowing him that way and always relating to him that way to seeing him go into dad mode. And then I'm like, oh, this is why his sons are so well behaved. Because he was like hurting us like kittens. He's like, Jared, I need you to come over here right now. Jensen, hey, let's go. Come on. I don't have time for this. Let's go. We gotta go. I'm like, who is this guy?
I will say this. We haven't teased him about this yet. We haven't announced this publicly. But Richard has a funny directing quirk. So Richard, we've known him for many years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, whatever it was. Season 4 we met, season 3 we met.
Better part of a
season
decade.
3, better part of a decade. We've known this guy. I stopped trains with him for God's sake. And we get on set, and it's like, Richard, buddy, dude, congrats. It's good to have you here. He's like, cool, Sam, you get over there. Dean, you're over here. We're like, is he calling us by our character names?
So we called him out on it. Didn't stop.
Didn't stop. He didn't know. So every time we do it, he'd be like, okay, so Sam, you go right there. And I was like, okay, director, and what else do I do? Mr. Director, sir, Mr. Director. He's like, I was like, Jared. Okay, Jared, you go there, and then Dean comes over and, okay, Mr. Director. Like, okay, Jensen, no. So he was so into it, he didn't realize that he was calling us by our character names. Yeah. Anyways, it's not all there.
There's plenty more material to talk about, I think. But let's suffice it to say that there were some very funny moments that happened recently during his episode, which I'll let him tell you about. Let's just say, and you'll see it. But there was, luckily we got him he got a funny script. So the script lent itself for a lot of cutting up, and cutting up we did. And there was times when we couldn't finish a take because of like laughing and tears, and so we try to have a very, very good time on our set, and I think it's one of the reasons why we lasted this long and haven't killed each other. But I will say that sometimes the having a good time and keeping it light on set is to the detriment of the director, who is just pulling his hair out because he's losing time while we're over there like telling some story for the 5th time because he gets a good laugh. And he's just like, I'm gonna lose my mind. We're like half an hour behind, and he's joking, and he can't get his lines right. And he's not doing. Meanwhile, we're having a great time. Because guess what? We know we're gonna have a job next week. Nothing. Yeah.
We ordered a pizza last night. It was a ciccioli. What are they called? Cicciola? Solacino?
It was a pizza. It was a pizza, and it had sausage and peppers on it.
Fennel sausage. Peppers.
Sauce.
It was like a margarita with
sausage.
sausage. Meat. So I love olive oil. I hate olives. Is there anybody else out there who hates olives? I like mushrooms and onions on pizza. I love chicken. I hate chicken on pizza, especially barbecue chicken. Barbecue sauce on a pizza doesn't make sense to me. It's got to be like some veggies, sans, olives. They take over the flavor.
Dude, if you're calling Domino's, what are you ordering? That's what
This is my order. This is how I say it.
Okay.
All
right, well, the Domino's gonna take your order.
Double skinny frappa soy latte, cinnamon rolls, 2 ice creams, Splenda.
Sir, this is not Starbucks.
So, sir, I don't like. I love olive oil. You know what I mean? Y'all put olive oil.
Listen, ma'am,
Yeah, so no olives. Okay, good. And then what's that one vegetable that it's really like fragrant?
it's called pepperoni.
Yeah. So that'll be one of the vegetables, and the other one's darker.
Hamburger.
Yes, do that too. Now, what's the sauce?
It's tomato sauce.
And what shape is your pizza?
I'm gonna hang up.
That order went through though, right? Yeah, no olives.
So that's a double pepperoni. Hold the olives.
That's it. Yeah, yes.
We'll see you in 90 minutes.
Wait. 90 minutes? What is it, the Super Bowl?
No, it's free if it's after 90 minutes.
Oh, cool. See you in 91 minutes.
So we call him Prada. He's Czech, and his name is Go Prada, so we call him Prada. And he asked me what cologne I wore, and I was like, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to show up smelling like me, and then I'm not unique anymore. You're always going to be unique, Jared. I'll say this much. I wear Old Spice High Endurance Fresh deodorant.
So do my Old Spice.
What was that?
I wear.
And it's run out today.
So do my boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think you're wearing it today. Woo! Old Spice High Endurance Fresh sales just plummeted. And I have since high school. And the cologne I wear that I can't say was a girlfriend I had in high school, which meant, I don't know, you hold hands down the hallway, bought me a cologne of Eau de Toilette. Toilet water?
Not even a name, huh?
Bought me, I'm not gonna give the name. Bought me some toilet water in high school, and no one. I'll say this: I am 99% sure that no one. I don't know. I don't think I've never met somebody who's worn it or heard of it.
I just like the fact you've been wearing the same cologne for the past 20 years.
That's my fault. I haven't showered in 20 years, so it's just
for both of you, though.
it's just there somewhere on me. Oh, I know. And now your turn.
I have several, and I just change whatever feeling I feel that day.
Which several?
Give them what they want.
I don't even know if I know the name of them. A lot of them were gifts.
Sure. Well, we love Old Spice. So. I mean, that's a classic, right?
I'm on a horse.
Better than Polo.
I sleep naked.
You remind me of my boys.
Didn't need to know that.
You knew that.
And the sale of fan fiction books just went up.
Old Spice fan fiction. And the Dow Jones Day, the economy crashed. As Old Spice sales went to zero. On the flip side, fan fiction books are now supplying the GDP with Thank you.
So you guys have a pretty busy schedule right now, but maybe after Supernatural, I was wondering if you were thinking of...
Well, after Supernatural... Break this.
The next time you say after Supernatural,
That's gonna happen to your face.
think about what happened there. Because that's what you did to my heart.
We didn't need a symbol.
Okay, so... Okay. So my question is...
Did you see? I threw the chair and I quickly had to turn around. I'm like, oh god, I killed Billy. Not again. I killed him. Hi.
Hi.
So,
This is a wooden stick.
Hypothetically, if Supernatural
if the
ever
show
ended,
were ever to,
maybe in 100 years, I don't know.
If we were to take a hiatus.
Yes.
okay,
Would you ever consider doing live theater?
yeah, I tried that. Didn't take. Yeah, I would. I did a play. What was it? Season? No, it was between season 2 and 3. So many years ago, I did a professional stage play, and it was several weeks, and it's tough. But I enjoyed what it did. It kind of exercised a different muscle that I hadn't been really utilizing shooting film style. So yeah, I think it's cool. I like it. And I wouldn't say no to it.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, I'd like to as well.
Awesome, thanks.
Of Supernatural.
Give me one piece.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rob.
Yeah, Rob hasn't seen it yet.
It was probably an antique too. with Rob on it. It was, yeah, I'm sure it was passed down. It's been like generations of musicians. And it was probably used like Abbey Road or something.
And so I usually just have headphones in, but I'm fine. Next time you see me, come give me a hug and a high five.
And leave me alone.
Yeah, leave him alone. Yeah,
I'm kidding. In all honesty, it's always great when someone wants to come up and say that they like the show, or that they watch the show, or that they want to have a picture with you. That's fantastic. The kind of some unwelcome residual effects are sometimes when somebody comes up and is really, really excited, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's Jared! I can't believe it! Your hair is so amazing! Can I take a picture with you?"
And I'm like, Jensen, I just saw you yesterday.
It's true. That's true. You think it'd get easier, but it doesn't. That's fantastic, and yeah, absolutely. Jared's generally like, "Here, I have selfie arms, so just get in here," and yeah, and so he'll do that, but. What sometimes happens is that catches the attention of about half a dozen other people across the restaurant or across the room, or
who don't know who
have no idea who you are, and now they spend the next 5 to 10 minutes trying to figure out who the hell you are, and when they can't, they're just like, "Well, I'm just going to take a picture with him." Hey dude, I don't know who you are, but I need to take a picture with you. And then it's like, "Oh, okay," and then it's, "Okay, who are you? Tell me who you are." Nobody? And so that's Tom Brady?
Don't say that in this town.
I'll prove it. I have a bunch of deflated balls in my truck.
He's here all week, guys. He's here all week trying to deal. So I says to the guy, wrecked him, nearly killed him. I would rather 100 times out of 100, I would rather somebody come up to me and ask for a picture than sneak a picture. I don't know what you meant. When someone's like this, I'm like,
that happened last night. Somebody was like,
oh yeah, sitting
doing
like 3
this,
tables
going
over.
like, they were like 2 tables over, and they're like,
yes. With the selfie mode, and Cliff's like points, and I was like, oh my God, are they selfieing from like 40 feet away? And Cliff kind of goes like this, and the hand goes. Meanwhile, had they come up, and I get it, you don't want to interrupt somebody during dinner, but had they just politely waited and been like, "Hey, can we have a picture?" Absolutely. But like the sneaky, like,
here's the best case
food's
scenario.
coming out of my mouth.
Jared, best case scenario.
Yeah.
Look the other way. Best case scenario.
Hey man, big fan of the show. You want to take a picture of this? Totally.
Yeah, let's take it this way because we're
cool. Yeah. Just whatever you can. I have selfie rooms.
Thanks, man.
Cool, thanks. Cool. Can I buy your dinner?
Yeah.
If I had a nickel for every time that happened. Yeah. No, discretion's good, yeah. Yeah, listen, if you do see us out and about, not at the convention, say hi. You're family, and the fact that you love the show, we love that you guys love the show, and seriously, treat us like a friend, because we are. So come up, say, hey, what's up?
Are you talking about the sex?
I make Rob go out first. Get all the booze.
Richard, what did you do?
And I just come out here to see.
What happened? Oh my God! When did that happen?
This is not something to be proud of.
That's his director voice. That's what we were talking about.
Jensen, put it down. Put it down.
I'm not gonna do my.
That's his director voice, Jensen.
Jensen, you've done enough to
You know what it is? It's in cooking they call that a reduction. It just concentrated it to it's basically the best form possible.
You know they say when somebody whispers, you have to listen. That's like the whisper.
So when somebody plays a non-existent tambourine,
Yeah, you're gonna hear it.
About it.
It's there.
Can I just? How?
can I a follow-up question?
Why? I have a follow-up to that. When?
No one's over there.
You know what? Somebody has screamed it out and they're right. Hashtag blame the Musk.
How good you two always smell.
Well, no, let's be honest. I didn't start a bit. You started really going off a little uncomfortably.
Well, someone said, "What's your favorite smell?" And I was like,
It turns out it's
Jensen.
you.
I walk into a department store, go by the cologne section, and go, Jensen. And then this morning he said, "You in the back will know when Jensen and Jared are here because you'll get the musk." And it takes like 3 seconds to travel.
Yeah, I was explaining to them that I was explaining that the manly homosexual musk of Jared and Jensen will roll over this room, and they'll be back there going, "They're so good looking, but I don't really smell them." They'll get it. Oh, they'll get it. And it's going to make them do terrible things. And our bit went into the street where people driving by were like, "Oh, there must be some kind of convention in town."
Sir, I'm gonna have to write your ticket because we
The newspaper like, "We're live on the street. There seems to be some kind of commotion down here."
Nice avoid right there.
Trained professional. So it's been a bit of a thing, and now people are going to blame all of their shortcomings in life on the Musk.
Blame the musk.
Shit goes wrong, hashtag blame the Musk.
That normally it would have held together. It just kind of disintegrated in my hand, and I didn't really know what.
The tambourine went ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
The molecules individually. They were like existing, oh yeah. It can't hold form anymore.
I'm officially blaming the musk.
I love that this is how simple molecules exist. Existing.
Well, they're bouncing into each other, you know, they're doing their electron bits.
Existing. Just doing what molecules do. Existing.
You're the molecule. It's the dance craze. And now with their hit song, Blame It on the Musk, here's Loud and Swain. Get out of your chair and do the molecule. Blame it on the Musk. Blame it on the Musk. What? Do the molecule. Damn right. Blame it on the Musk. Do the molecule. You know what, man? I think you can keep that groove going, because it's time for the last question. Here we go, which side?
What's your name?
Amanda.
This is Amanda. She's part of the Supernatural family and the AKF family. Let's hear it for her. So, what is your question?
Well, after that Tom Brady comment, I don't know if I want to ask it. Well, I came from Boston, and I want to hear your Boston accents again.
Oh, all right.
Boston accents from the boys. Here we go. Old Beantown, get ready. Here comes what I'm sure.
Why don't you pack a cat and have it, yeah.
Yep, spot on. Yes, but that leaves you hanging because now you have to do your Boston accent, and he stole the catchphrase. So what you gonna do?
I'm gonna use the Boston, one of my favorite Boston stories, which is I was at Logan Airport ready to go after a long trip, and the attendant, I believe it was United. If you're 16 and under, prepare to cover your ears when I gesture. Well, yeah, just bleep me out. So anyways,
They're listening live. They can't.
bleep me out. So anyways, she's behind the counter, and she's a wise woman, and she we've had a delay, and now we've had to move gates, and it's
Logan Airport delay? Whatever do you mean?
I know, right? So anyway, the aircraft finally arrives, and she feels the need to address the waiting passengers for the plane that's now arrived, and they get a deboard and this whole thing. So she picks up the mic to the terminal and says, "All right, everybody, listen up. When everybody's coming off the plane, I want you to board, get on the plane, don't around with your bags, and sit down." I'm not kidding. Just full F-bomb over the loudspeaker at Logan. And I just was like, "Brr?" And I looked at her thinking like, oh, she's gonna be horrified. She's gonna probably have to like apologize. Nothing, just.
Jensen's looking around like, did y'all, anybody hear that?
Nobody. Everybody's like.
They were actually all deflating footballs.
And that was the last question. Ladies and gentlemen, Jared Padalecki and Jensen. Watch him shine. It's so beautiful. Oh my God, there he goes. Right in Erica's hair. Look at him. So
Are you gonna top that?
nobody signs a banner like Jared Padalecki.
I don't wanna lose your love tonight. I ain't got many friends left to talk to. I don't wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love.
You live to tell the story, people. You saw it. It's intermission.
Line that he has.
Action. Flop sweat, Sonny. Dread of what's to come. Can it? Your barbs may amuse your circle of hearts, but you have no idea what we're tampering with here. What Lucifer is capable of. Dear, if you can't stand the heat, get out of hell. I must say it's not as scenic as I'd expected. We're in the furthest recesses of hell, limbo, where I send unruly souls for timeouts. This is where I really live to be. Whatever it lacks in ambience, it makes up for in security. Cut.
You read what's to come? Okay, then, all right? Your bobs may amuse circles of hags, but you have no idea what's tampering with here. Lucifer is capable of.
Yeah, well, dear, if you can't stand the heat, get out of hell. I must say, it's not as scenic as I'd expected.
No, we're in the furthest recesses of hell, limbo. That's where I send unruly souls for timeouts.
So this is where I meet with Lucifer?
Yeah, whatever it lacks in ambiance, it makes up in security.
Cut. That's about a 4-minute
I didn't understand a word of that.